What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. I am so excited to share all of the things I've been loving the past couple of months. This list has been growing for quite a while. I've got some makeup things, but we're talking about it all, baby. I've got a new planner to show you. I've got a new purse from Amazon. I've got some clothing items. We've got all kinds of stuff. So I am so excited. I hope you are too. And I'm also excited to thank Warby Parker for continuing to be a sponsor of my channel, and they are sponsoring this part of the video. So I got some new glasses. What do you think? Tyler really likes them. So if you've never heard of Warby Parker, they offer everything you need for your eyes. They've got eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses. They even offer eye exams, and you can do this both online and in store, which I think is really cool. And the best part is that their glasses start at $95, and that includes prescription lenses. That's pretty incredible. I mean, I've bought some pairs like before I ever knew about Warby Parker, like 7 or 8 years ago. And they get like in the like $600-700 like crazy prices. So I feel like these feel just as nice, if not nicer, than some of those other ones I've had in the past. I love that they have such a variety. Like, I'm loving this pair. So this is the Halton pair, the ones you always see me in, because these are my ones I have blue lens protection in, but no prescription, so then I can wear these when I'm wearing my contacts and still get that protection. Then these are the ones that actually have my prescription, so you see me wearing these a lot on my Instagram stories because I wear them when I edit and stuff, and if I'm not wearing my contacts. Okay, over-explained. Point is, I love this pair too. This is the Esme pair that I've had for years. But what's cool is that Warby Parker offers a free home try-on program, so you can take a quick little quiz on their website, and then you can pick out 5 frames to be sent to your home. You can try them on your face, see how you like them, see how your spouse or partner, kids, whatever, just see what everyone else thinks too. And I feel like it's such a genius way in this day and age to be able to do the whole eyeglass try-on thing. You know what I mean? So I love it. I've loved this brand for years. My husband has Warby Parker prescription glasses as well. But I love that with the home try-on kit, it ships to you for free. There's no obligation to buy anything, and you even get a prepaid return shipping label, so you're not paying for shipping it back either. So I love it. I've loved Warby Parker for so long. A couple other things that I think is really cool is that they offer sunglasses, and you can even get prescription sunglasses. So if you've been thinking about doing something like that, this would be a really good way to do it. But as I mentioned, they have anti-fatigue lenses. They also have blue light filtering lenses, which, like I said, is what I have in these. And what's cool is you can get that with your prescription too. So these also have the blue light filtering lenses. So if you are interested in checking out Warby Parker and trying their free at-home try-on kit, you can go to warbyparker.com/jessicabraun. At that link, you can take the quick little quiz. You can pick your 5 pairs of glasses you want sent to your home. Again, no obligation to buy. They give you a shipping label so you can ship it back for free. I just think it's such a great program and a great way to try some stuff on your actual face. So thank you so much, Warby Parker, for sponsoring this part of the video. Again, that link will be right at the top of the description box. So another thing I get asked is, like, when I do these sponsorships with Warby Parker, why I don't keep the glasses on. Some of the time I'm like doing makeup in the video, so it didn't, but I also feel like sometimes it gets a little distracting with like the glare depending on where I'm filming. And that's really the only reason I take them off. Over-explained again, but there you go. All right, let's talk about my favorites. Y'all, I feel out of practice as per usual come Monday morning. It's kind of like when I used to teach, I would feel the same way, like, okay, it's Monday morning. Like, you got to get all the kinks out. So here we are. I am so excited to share these products with you because it's been a couple months since I've done a current favorites video. And these are certainly one of my favorite videos to film because I'm talking about all the stuff I love. So let's dive in. First up, we'll start with makeup because I do have a couple of fails in the beauty category I want to talk about, but some of my faves. First up, this one. This is the Revlon Illuminance Skin Caring Foundation. It has 5% squalane, hyaluronic acid. This is a very, 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 very hydrating foundation. And I say that because you need to know it, because I'm going to show you a clip right now of what it looks like in natural light upon application. Like, once it's on, it is very, very hydrating. It's not like glowy. There's no shimmer or anything like that, but it's got that level of hydration to it that if you don't set it with a powder, no matter your skin type, because I have normal to dry, you just have to. You just absolutely have to. But I do think it's really pretty on the skin. It's got like medium coverage. You can build it up just a little bit. And I really like the way it looks. I have a strong suspicion this will be one of those foundations I start going to even more come winter, because then I'm not worried about like sweating it off because this is more hydrating. I have drier skin in the winter, as I know a lot of us do. So it might be just right, the Goldilocks effect, just right in the winter. So I liked it though. I feel like in the drugstore realm, this is one of the few newer drugstore launches, or I should say newer foundation launches, that I've really like taken a liking to. So definitely worth a shot. If you have oily skin though, I just don't think it's gonna be right. Like you'd have to really mattify before and after. And at that point, it's like, was it really worth it? Just use, you know what I mean? Anyway, I was saying when I first tried to film this clip, the amount of espresso I drink on camera probably makes it look like I just drink espresso constantly all day long. I usually sit down around the same time to film, and it's just that time of day that's when I make espresso. So there you go. All right, another foundation. Wow, that it so took me by surprise because I've never liked a Laura Mercier foundation ever, because I've never been able to find a shade match and not even like a tone match. It would usually be really, really yellow on me. So this is their newest launch, the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. To be honest, I shouldn't like this. This kind of has a slight, it's not a matte finish, it's what I'm wearing today. But I feel like a lot of times when it's a thin foundation, I tend to not like it. I feel like it can look weird on my pores. It can just not cover the way I want to, and so it'll wear off quickly because it is a thin layer. No, this stuff is so stunning. It's so stunning. I'll show you what it looks like. I don't know what, they've bottled up magic here because it is very, very lightweight. It says it's their weightless perfecting foundation. It is very perfecting. You can build up a little bit as well. I usually put like 2 layers on my cheeks. I'm not sure that I really need to, I feel like the formula already has a decent amount of coverage is my point, but it's so pretty. I still set my T-zone with it, so it's not a totally matte foundation. I would say it's more like satin. But it is really pretty. So the shade I picked out in store is 2C2 Soft Sand, which actually works better for me when I have some self tanner, but you can tell like it's not quite the same tone, but I think this will work fine for me even just during normal times, if you will. But I just can't get over how pretty it is. It's easy to apply with the sponge. I've not tried this with a brush. You guys know me, I'm pretty picky about foundation brushes, and I tend to opt for a sponge for that. So let me know if you do use a brush with this, if it works well or not, but very pretty, obviously a lot pricier. These are very different if you were wanting to ask like, okay, what's the difference between the Revlon and this one? They're just totally different finishes. This one's super hydrating, this one's not so much. I feel like coverage level wise, they're similar though. Maybe the Laura Mercier has a little bit more. Also, little shout out to the beautiful packaging, the frosted glass, the little like gold rim there. They've done a really nice job kind of revamping a little bit. Okay, the concealer, the internet won't shut up about it. Well, let me add my voice to it. So this is the Natasha Denona new concealer, the High Glam Concealer. Yes, this is a pricey concealer. And yes, I still absolutely love my Catrice one that's 10 bucks. I know I talk about it in every video, but it really is that good. But this one is so, so good too. You need a lot less of the product. So today I just tapped it on my under eye, just a couple dots, and then use my finger. I use a brush with this probably more often, but today, honestly, I just kind of wanted to see what it looked like with the finger, and it worked really, really well. It's just one of those foundations that just works. It just works. It covers, it stays in place, it doesn't look weird and crepey. It settles into fine lines less than other concealers I've used, probably because you really only need to use a little bit. I tend to set this with powder, but this is not one that I feel like I have to, because it's not like overly dewy. With the Catrice one, I feel like I go back and forth on if I set that every day or not. I just am in the habit of setting my under eye concealer. So anyway, it's that good. Like, I know there's a lot of hype. I don't hype things up just for funsies. Like, there's plenty of other things I've tried, you know, but this one is actually that good if you can swing it. If not, I'm telling you, that Catrice one is still awesome. There's a reason I won't shut up about it. I can link that one below too, but yeah, it's so good. All right, so what's on my lips today? This is the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Resistance Lipstick. So it's one of those liquid lips, which, you know, yeah, these have been around for forever. Well, first of all, I like this shade. It's unique. I think it's meant to be like a muted coral. It's in the shade 120 Major Crush. Okay, a few things. I don't think I said this yet. I was wanting to just wear this, okay? It's a square neck bodysuit we're gonna talk about in a little bit from Old Navy, but I'm wearing this cardigan over it because I have self-tanner on and it's wearing off and it's worn off right here and it's just super obvious. And I was like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to take myself seriously watching a video with that going on. So anyway, hence the cardigan, but it is way too hot to be wearing a cardigan. Where am I going with this story? Oh yeah, I was worried that the tone of this wouldn't go with this. It's not perfect, but here we are. I just wanted you guys to be able to see it, what it looks like. I've had this on now for probably 30, 40 minutes. It just lasts really well. It is a matte liquid lipstick, so I mean, in theory it should. I definitely find there's wear in the middle. I mean, when you're drinking water, coffee, whatever, but it's just comfy. Now, if you're someone that doesn't like the stickiness of that kind of a product like this one does, you won't like this then. I don't mind it. In fact, I kind of weirdly prefer it because it reminds me that I'm wearing a lip color, and it's a little more comfortable to me than the ones that totally dry down, that I feel like my lips just look like a desert. So I like this. I would definitely be interested in trying another color. I feel like this is a little bit deep for running around in the summer, but yeah, I really like the formula and I just think it's comfy. Oh, also, it smells like candy necklaces. So yay for that. Doesn't smell like that awful, awful original L'Oreal lip scent. Okay, can we talk about my fails? 2 of them, and then we have so many other things to talk about. So one of my fails is from Gwen Stefani's brand Give. I've now finally learned how to say it. And I bought a long time ago. I remember this at our old workspace. So this is the Icy and Sparkle Dazzle pigment. The shade is called Dazzle. I love glittery eye pigments. Like if we're going out, we went and saw Shania Twain the other day. It was totally awesome. And I wore this. First of all, it just gets everywhere, which that can happen. I mean, it's a pigment. That's nothing new. It's just so crunchy. And that's not a good word for this, but that's how I felt. Like it just felt like dry and crunchy. So as I was putting it on, I'm like, I can just feel this. And there's just so many other pigments out there that are more finely milled that give the same effect. And for the price especially, I'm like, I would rather grab like a L'Oreal Infallible Shadow. I guess that's not exactly the same because this does have more glitter, but I just didn't like it. I've tried enough of these. This is not it. I just feel like you could probably skip it. And by probably, I mean you could definitely skip it. I would skip it. Okay, another one, I'm actually kind of bummed because I used to like, it's probably the same formula, but maybe it's that I've tried way more cream and stick blushes since these launched years ago. But I recently tried the contour stick and this in a video I can link below if you want to see it in action. But the more I've used this is the shade 25-8, which I couldn't understand. I'm like, why is this called 25-8? It's like 24-7, but like more 25-8. Okay. Anyway, this, no matter how I've applied it, removes the makeup underneath it. And I've certainly learned over the years of trying a lot of these kinds of products that some don't move the makeup underneath. Like you can find ones that don't. In fact, most of the ones I like don't. This one does though, whether I applied it directly, whether I did it with like a brush on there and then just tapped it on. It didn't really seem to matter. Trying to think if I tried it with my finger. I don't know if I did or not, but either way, it was just one of those formulas that does that. And so I was like, there's better out there. So I would skip this one too. I don't even know that I said what it was. It's ColourPop Blush Sticks. This hair wax stick has been so used by me, and I never would have thought I'd be someone that uses hair wax. I don't know. I use it in a few different ways. So one of the main ways I use it is if I've got my hair like in a slicked back pony or bun, you can just push it up and I'll literally just put it directly on it and then smooth it with my hands, and it helps get the flyaways down, all of that. That alone is amazing. This is under $10 on Amazon and it's gonna last forever if you buy it. I mean, I could just keep pushing it up. So the other way I used it was today to give my hair a little bit of grit. That way when I braided it, I didn't have those like hair sticking out, you know, especially if you have like some layers in your hair at all, the hair just starts sticking out every which way. So I just literally kind of ran the wax through it, moved it through with my fingers and then braided it, and it's helped so much. Usually by this point, I think I might have like one little hair coming out. Usually by this point, this thing is a mess. So I was very thankful to kind of discover that use for this as well. So just one of those tools that I have now that I'm like, man, I feel like I keep discovering ways I can use it and it's really helped a lot. Another thing is if you're pulling your hair all the way up, like fully back, same thing. You can use the hair wax stick to kind of get all of those baby hairs down. You might need to use more than you think. but I'm just saying it works. Especially if you like did the wax stick and then hairsprayed, it would really stay. Okay, these satin scrunchies, I love. So I originally bought these in like a 5-pack, and I've seen since on Amazon that they have like 20 packs with like way more colors for cheaper than what I bought the 5-pack for. So I'll link that one, but I just think there's something so pretty about these because it's still, I mean, there's like a regular hair tie underneath that you can feel. And I feel like it looks cute on your wrist. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look weird with outfits. It looks just a little bit more feminine and cute, but it's functional, of course. And I like that they're just thinner. It's not so obvious, but they're just, I don't know. There's something about the look of these that every time I like am getting ready for the day, I grab one and put it on my wrist. Like it's just become a thing. So I think that's cool. I'm usually the kind of girl that's got a hair tie on my wrist at all times anyway, just in case. And this is nice because now I can do that, but it looks just like a little bit cuter. Okay, this hairbrush. I'm not going to show it up close because I always feel like that's gross, but it's from the brand DAE. I'll pop a picture on the screen so you can look at that instead of my like used hairbrush. But I bought it on a whim at Sephora when I was like I was returning something and buying some new stuff. I know a lot of you guys saw it in the vlog. Well, oh my gosh, I love this brush. Like I just needed a new detangling brush. Like I wanted to be able to use it wet. If like once I'd sprayed detangler through it before I blow dry and whatever. This you can use wet and dry. And according to the website, it says you can use it on any hair type, et cetera, et cetera. I have been loving this. I feel like it brushes through tangles even easier than any of the other brushes I've used. And I feel like because it has both kinds of bristles, it maybe that's the magic of it. It just does a really good job. So I wanted to bring it up. I almost didn't, but I was like, I'm loving it. If something happened to this, I would repurchase the same one. Okay, let's talk pens and markers. So this is a newer-ish line from Sharpie. It's their S Note. Okay, I'm saying newer. I think it's new. I'm usually on top of these kinds of things because I love it, but maybe it's been around for a few years. These markers, they're Sharpie Creative markers, whatever. They are a marker and highlighter in one. So I have seen some that are dual tipped, like one has, I think, a chisel tip and one is more of a pointed. These are just like the classic ones. And the reason I love them is because you can highlight with them, like they're light enough, you can do that, but then you can just use the tip and just write with them. They're dark enough to write with, but light enough to highlight with. Does that make sense? I have been loving it. I've been using it so much in my planner, which I'm gonna show you here in a sec. And I like that I can just kind of decorate, highlight things, color code if I want, but then in a pinch, I can turn and write with it. I end up writing with another pen anyway, just because that's just the way I roll. But I am a fan. I love these colors. I can't find this exact pack online, but I found packs that have even more colors, which is, I think, even better. And honestly, some of the prices of the ones I've seen on Amazon are better than what I paid for this in store for the smaller pack. You know what I'm saying? So big fan. If you're like a planner junkie, writer, scheduler, like you will like these. Let's talk planners. So a little background here. I had recently taught myself, well, I mean like watch YouTube videos. So someone else taught me, but how to use Notion, which I know a lot of you guys probably know what it is, but it's like a website where it's free to join. And when you join, you're like, what am I looking at? Like, how do I use this? It is the most weirdly confusing thing. But once you watch a video or two on it, you're like, okay, I get it. And there's a lot you can do with it. And I liked that I could totally cater it to exactly what I wanted. I could have different pages. But I started to get to the point where I was like, I look at a screen so much of the day. It's kind of nice to give your eyes a break any way that you can. Because like even books, most of the time I read on my Kindle. It's still a screen. So planners are one thing that I've always liked. I like writing things down. So anyway, that's really the story. So I've switched back to a paper planner for now. Maybe I'll go back and forth. We'll see. But this is the one I went with this time. This is the brand Day Designer. I've tried like every planner out there, you guys. I like quite a few. This is one of the ones I like. I've learned about myself that I like daily planners. Like I want an entire page for the day. So you can see like on this, it's got like your top 3. It's got your schedule if you want to write it out hourly, a to-do list. And there's even more like, what are you making for dinner that night? Where's that? I'm looking at it backwards. Dinner, don't forget what's due, notes, gratitude. It's got all kinds of stuff. But this version I'm showing you is like $68. So it's not cheap, okay? But I was doing some digging and Target sells Day Designer planners that look very similar to this, just not as thick. And instead of having every day having an entire page, it has a couple days on a page. So I'll pop a picture of what that looks like. I think that's pretty cool too. And to be honest with you, as I've started using this month, I feel like I'm certainly not using up entire pages most days. So I could totally see myself one day just switching to the Target version and doing it like that. So it kind of just depends on your needs, but I just really have liked the Day Designer line of things, if you will. They always have really cute covers too. This is the one I went with. Figure it's, what is this, July through June? Oh, it's a whole year. Good. Last time, what was that brand I also, Golden Coil, I love. They're even pricier, oh my gosh. Golden Coil ones are really pretty, but you can really like pick the pages you want in it. It's one of those things that I had picked so many pages for each month, like different things, that I think my planner was only like 4 months or like 6 months. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta buy this again. So it's nice that the entire year is in this at least. But if I'm remembering right, you can just order it from the month you're in. You know what I mean? You can pick what month you want to start. So it's not like you have to buy this just for 23. You can buy it for, so mine, that's why mine's July through June. So this shirt that I'm wearing, this is a square necked tank. I think the thick straps are kind of cute. And it's from Old Navy, but it's a bodysuit. So if you want something like today, this doesn't match, so just don't make fun of me. Today I'm wearing it like with a skirt thing, but it's a bodysuit. So it's nice, it stays tucked in. Like if you're wearing jeans, especially come fall, like let's say you're wearing some cute pants and a jean jacket, this is the perfect kind of shirt to have on under it. They have a couple of colors. I just have this one in black, but it has come in such handy. It's really comfy. I just really like it. I felt like I have a lot of bodysuits at this point and I've tried a lot of different ones. And this is one of the ones that's just the most low key and still comfortable. Do you know what I mean? But it really serves a purpose of like filling in that gap of like, I just need a black basic that I can put on under stuff, but I can also wear alone. Like I wore this to a show recently, just this with a cute skirt. And I feel like it looked really, really cute. So it stands alone as well, but yeah. Okay, another thing I've mentioned in a previous vlog was, well, I like hauled these, is these shirts from Uniqlo. They're very inexpensive. And Uniqlo is one of those stores that like, it's always in random places. Like they have one in Disney Springs down in Orlando, Florida, but I'll randomly see them just anywhere. Lots of them in York. Oh my gosh, New York. Who gets that reference? Okay. Anyway, but I usually I just order these online. These are the greatest t-shirts of all time because they are thicker. So they're not see-through. They're just like, I've never felt shirts that feel this well made. I guess that's it. And for them to still be at the lower price is really cool. So I have it in black, I have it in white, and then I have one I was actually wearing this morning in like a dusty rose color. They have lots of colors. And there are different versions, so make sure you get the right one because they have other t-shirts and stuff they sell. This is a crew neck, so if you're part of the crew neck crew, I love a crew neck, you'll like these. I don't know, I can do some digging and see if they have this same kind in a v-neck, if that's more what you're into. If I find it, I'll link it too, but I just love these. I can't get over how nice they are. They're fitted-ish, so I mean, I got medium. I could totally see myself getting a large if I wanted it a little bit looser, so consider that. Get your size if you don't mind it being somewhat fitted, but if you maybe size up if you don't want that. I just think they're so well made. The price is right. Lots of different color options. So if you're tired of like consistently repurchasing these kinds of shirts, this might be worth looking into. And they've washed and dried pretty well too. I've washed all of them a couple times at this point and they look good as new. Okay, so this purse I got a lot of questions about. I used, when we were in New York, this Amazon purse. It's like this ruched bag. It's longer, but you can shorten it. It's kind of odd. When you open it, which is kind of cool, it opens all the way. It literally just has these just in there. And when I first got it, I was like, what? Like, that's so weird. But the nice thing is that you can actually pull these more taut. I mean, I probably pulled it too far there, but if you want it, like I wanted it to be more of just a shoulder bag, like really short up against, because I feel like that's kind of in right now. I've been loving seeing it, again, because it makes me think of the early 2000s. So I just made it shorter so it can just be a normal little shoulder bag. So, and it stays pretty well. I had a lot of stuff in here and it didn't really like come loose. So yeah, it's kind of an odd design, but I really, really like it. I got a lot of, like I said, DMs from you guys about it, and they had a couple different colors. So this is like the ivory color. They have like a pure white, they have black, and I think maybe 2 other shades. So really, really liked it. I don't think it's like the most well-made purse in the world. Like this is probably not gonna last me 5 years, but I've really been enjoying using it. The book I just recently finished is Court of Thorns and Roses, which I know a lot of you guys have read. And people feel it's so interesting. It's one of those books that like everyone I know that's read the series loves the series. Like I don't know anyone that's read it all and is like, I hated it. I guess why would you keep going if anyway? Definitely spicy. So just be aware if you're not looking for that. This is probably not the book for you. From what I've heard, it gets spicier as the series goes on. I don't know. One thing I do know though is that the books get way longer. Like this one was a more like feasible amount. Some of them are really big. So I'm taking a break from it because I want to read a couple other books, but I probably will then go into the second book, honestly, once I get it from Libby, like from the library on my Kindle. So yeah, I like it. I get why people like it, and from what I've also heard from a lot of friends, the first book was good, but the rest of the books are better. So we'll see. Another book I just started is 4,000 Weeks, which is, what is it called? Time Management for Mortals. I'm reading this because Taylor Wynn has very highly recommended it in the past, and it is nothing like what I thought it was, but I'm reading it at the perfect time because I've mentioned in a few other videos, I feel like I'm in a better space, by the way, just to update you guys. I feel like my last 2 videos were very, I was just very in my feels. We were going through a lot, and I feel like I'm in a way better place now. I know Tyler feels that way too, so that's been nice. But I'm reading this book at the perfect time because I talked a lot about burnout. I've talked about just family drama and stuff, and this book really, I'm not even halfway through it, so I haven't finished it, but it definitely talks about like the opposite of productivity and how short life really is, not in a depressing way though. It's just interesting. So I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I said, this is exactly what I needed to hear right now. And yeah, I recommend it. If you've been feeling the same way as I had been feeling, this might be the book for you right now as well. And it's also just putting some things in perspective for me too. So there you go. Oh, I did want to mention a random kid's favorite. So these books I was introduced from my friend because I think she might've been the one that got it for Felicity, and we've since bought another one, but it's these little books. I don't know the name, but I'll pop it on the screen. They're kind of, I think, a little bit pricey for kids books, but they are the best music books for younger kids, like babies, early toddlers, because you know how like toddlers, especially, well, I'm talking about like a 15-month-old. Okay. So she's kind of toddling. You know what I mean? My point is they can't push buttons on things as easily. They're just not quite there. This book, she's been able to get this music started because basically it seems that it just like takes the heat of your finger when you put it on it to play the music. So there's no actual button they're pushing. And so each page has a different song. And at first I'm like, oh, this is kind of cute. It's her favorite book, which is why we bought another one because they have a bunch of different ones with different songs. So if you've got someone that like you need to buy them a book, this I would highly recommend, like for a baby shower, whatever. If you're creating a registry, I would add one of these to your list because I mean, we've gone through the whole babyhood before and we never had these, and I can't believe how much Felicity loves them so much. So anyway, that's my last random kid's favorite. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's just always so fun to do my updated current favorites because like I said, it's just fun to talk about things I'm loving. That's the best part of my job. So thank you again to Warby Parker for sponsoring a part of this video. If you want to check out Warby Parker for yourself, you can try on 5 pairs of glasses for free by going to warbyparker.com/jessicabraun. I'll have the link right at the top of the description box. Thank you, Warby Parker, for supporting my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.